What up, what up, what up? It's the PAC, man. All things physician associate. And in this video, I want to talk about how much do PAs really make, man? What's all the secrets for, man? I'll tell you. And so, man, first, let me start by saying that I don't like the word salary with the profession PA because it's very elusive in a sense. When you think about, like, when somebody says, oh, I'm gonna pay you 6 figures, I'm gonna give you $100,000 a year, that's a lot of money, man. But you gotta also factor that for how many hours, like how much of my time am I trading for $100,000 a year? For instance, I have a friend who works at an urgent care, and the urgent care is open 7 days a week, and he works all 7 days. This man has a wife and kids and a beautiful family, and I'm just like, when are you gonna see them? So you got to think about the work-life balance. So therefore, like, salary, it just doesn't sit well with me. I mean, mind you, if someone says, hey, I'm gonna give you a X amount on your salary, and it's all black and white, like you're gonna work Monday through Friday 9 to 5, you're gonna be on call once a month, things like that, fine, it's all set in stone, and you understand exactly, they outline exactly what you're expected to work, then perfect. I just don't. It's just, it should always be hedged with some margin of safety. You gotta always really investigate when it comes to salary. I don't like hourly because it's confusing in a sense, and I'll explain why in a moment. Like, if someone says, hey, I'm gonna give you 50, 60, 70 bucks an hour, that's a lot of money, man. But it just doesn't translate well as to what does that all mean? Like, yeah, that sounds like a lot, but it puts you in a mind state of just how many hours can I do? I want as many of those $70 an hour. I want as many of those hours under my belt as possible. I don't know. It's a mind state thing for me. The way I like to look at it is work-life balance. Like, I like to know how much one day of my time is worth. And what I mean by that is like so work-life balance. So I got a son at home, I have a baby on the way, like I want to be home as much as possible. So for me, I want to know, do I really need to go to work every day? Hell, do I need to go to work Monday through Friday? Because I want to try to make sure, I don't want anybody to send me a video of my son walking or my son talking. I don't want to miss anything. I want to increase my chances of being home for the first every single time. So I personally work 4 days a week, my choosing, and 4 8-hour shifts. I want to make sure I'm home every day to play with them before we put them to sleep. I'll be there for my wife as much as possible. So for me, it's not about the dollar, and but I also don't want to get taken advantage of. So I want to know how much is one day worth. And then, so let's say from an hourly perspective, someone's paying you 60 bucks an hour. So $60 an hour, 8-hour shifts, 52 weeks in a year, that's 25,000 a year. So okay, so every day that I show up to work, my Mondays are worth $25,000. My Tuesdays are worth $25,000. So every day I show up, $25,000. You want to work Monday through Friday, $125,000 a year. You want to pick up Saturdays, $150,000 a year, right? So that's how I like to calculate it, because then I get to factor, well, how much money is it gonna cost for me to raise my family the way I want and save and invest for my short-term and my long-term goals? Okay, it's gonna cost me this much. Okay, so if it's gonna cost me this much, then how many days do I need to show up to reach my goals and live my life and be present. And then it allows me to, I did that simple calculation, and I realized, oh, I don't even need to be there Monday through Friday for that. So then I decided to cut my Wednesdays out. I work Monday, Tuesdays, take a little break. Family day. Thursday, Friday, take the weekend off. Family time. And then that's kind of how I set up my my life. And I understand that everybody's different. You know, everybody has different short-term, long-term goals and what have you. So, you know, just think, $25,000 is a lot of money. You can, by just picking up, you know, that extra day, let's say by just working that Monday through Friday, you got that extra $25,000 a year. It just depends on what your goals are overall. And so that's the way I like to look at it. So who's paying $25,000 a year for every day? That's pretty much standard PA pay. Like $60 an hour, that's standard. Some places will try to start you at 50. Depends on the part of the country you're in, you know. Some places will pay you 70. I use 60 as a kind of like an average national number to expect. Urgent cares is very common to pay, you know, 50 to 60. You know, so just that's a general number to pick. Now, if you're in the emergency room, that's different. The average for ER ranges from like $75 an hour to $100 an hour. So when you think about, well, what is $75 an hour? You're talking more like close to, mind you, they're 12-hour shifts. So you're looking at $50,000 a year, or short, you know, like $47,000 a year for every day, every shift you pick up. And if you're making $100 an hour at your 12-hour shifts, you're talking about $60,000+ a year. So then, you know, that's amazing. Like, if you're only required to do 3 shifts in the emergency room. So when you think about 3 shifts in the emergency room worth of, you know, let's say you use the average of that 45 and 60, let's say just $50,000 a year per shift, and you're only required to do 3 shifts, you're already at $150,000 for 3 shifts. Anybody can easily pick up a 4th shift. You could do 4 days a week and still be off 3 days a week. That's not bad, and that just automatically gives you an extra $50,000 a year. Now you're making, you know, $200,000 a year, and you're off more than most Americans are. Than, you know, 90+% of Americans who work 5 days a week traditionally. So, man, that's amazing. But again, I like to look at it by the day, and kind of figure out, well, what is a day worth and what do I need? And if what you need is to pay off school loans, you want to pick up all those days. Pick up those shifts. You're in the ER, hell, and you got school loans, hell, work 5 days a week. Take 2 days off like normal Americans. And or pick up 6 days a week. Take 1 rest day, and just know in 1 year, this consumer debt is behind you, and the school loan debt is behind you. You know, it's all dependent on your goals, man. And but you know, as far as salary goes, it has to be black and white, and even hourly. You got to write it all down. It has to be in the contract exactly what I'm expected to work. So if you try to get me to do anything more than I don't want to do, then I can just always pull out the contract and say, no, man, that's not what we agreed to, man. Anyways, man, I hope this video brings some light to that subject. If you have any questions, of course, leave it in the comment section below. I'll be more than happy to answer that, man. As always, much love, man. See you guys.